Welcome to A Dash of PaNash, a journey with my friends and family to explore this unique cuisine called Eurosoul. What is Eurosoul, you ask? Well, it is a fusion of Mediterranean, Caribbean, and soul food flavors. Now, doesn't that sound delicious? Well, come and join me as we look into this very unique cuisine. Hello and welcome to another episode of A Dash of PaNash, where you're taking a journey with me, my family, my friends in this wonderful cuisine, Eurosoul. Today, I'm again ecstatic to have one of the original PaNash family that truly inspired me and helped me with this PaNash, in setting up a PaNash. I have Tezra Bryant. She's actually the person that gave me the slogan, A Dash of PaNash. And Tezra Bryant, and I also have Jason Wallace with me, who is referred to as the restaurant scientist. So that alone tells you the impact that he had here on Dash of PaNash and the PaNash Eurosoul cuisine. So I'm excited to have you guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be back.
Oh my God.
The place looks beautiful, by the way, still.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And as well as you do too.
All right, so Tezra, introduce yourself. Let the folks know who you are.
All right, well, my name is Tezra Bryant, and my company is Alacrity Associates, and actually I'm a restaurant operations consultant. And yeah, so I just go around helping out restaurants set up their operations. They could be new or existing.
That's right, that's right. All right, Jason?
Jason Wallace, AKA the restaurant scientist. Again, like Tezra, I am a restaurant consultant. I focus on independent restaurants with 1 to 8 units with a minimum weekly sales of $35,000 a week. And we really just go and take a deep dive into the financials. Operating statements, balance sheets, statements of cash flow, and really understand where they are and really where they need to be to grow their brands.
You know, they're being very modest, but we're gonna bring some stuff out of them right now, okay? They're being very modest. When I was looking to open up PaNash, you know, of course, I'm a type of person who like to do things right. I'm sometimes even anal, sometimes like a perfectionist, and what they learned about me is like, I'm doing a million things, and nothing is impossible for me. You know, and so I actually had brought on Jason Wallace first to help me with a lot of the financials. Was very important that we know our cost of goods. We know, you know, what it's going to look like as far as our projections. And so I brought on Jason Wallace first. And so Jason, tell me about, you know, when our first interaction, and what did you think when we talked about the project and what I wanted to do with this space?
Well, one thing that comes off, I mean, Annette is very visual. You're very, like, your vision and your ability to articulate your vision is extremely well. So once I had a chance to kind of sit down with you and you told me what the vision was, I could clearly see where you wanted to go. And I know that you were a trendsetter because, you know, to bring a Manhattan-style restaurant to this section of Queens, really, you know, you were ahead of your time. So I commend you for that. But you know, for me, when I come in, I deal with owners who are emotional.
Right.
And I can't, you know, the emotions and the numbers don't mix.
That's right.
It's a bad combination.
Yes.
And you know, although I've been in the restaurant industry 35 years, I'm not a day-to-day operation kind of guy.
Right.
Which is kind of why I referred Tezra to you, because she knows operations day-to-day better than I do. Where I am, I'm that CEO, I'm that COO that an operation like you needs, because you're not a multi-unit, but you're an independent, but yet you're not ready for that CEO quality person in terms of being able to afford them. So I'm that temporary chief financial officer, chief operating officer for independent restaurants. So when I first came here, my concern was to get you to a point where we understood what your break-even point was, and where you need to be on a weekly basis in terms of sales and what that would take operationally.
That's right, that's right. Like I said, he was the numbers guy, but what he also said was in relation to how I met Tezra. So Tezra was introduced to me by Jason. So I always try to go with the experts, you know, because a lot of people say, oh, Annette, you can do this yourself. You know, you have an MBA, you know, you're from corporate America, you have all that experience. You can start this up yourself. And I was like, no, not what I'm looking, not where my vision is at.
Absolutely.
You know, I want to have the experts involved. And so, of course, I asked Jason, who is the expert? You know, when it comes to operations.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? And he referred me to this one over here, Tezra Bryant.
Yeah.
So Tez, I don't want you to be Maz. I want to talk about the background, because when I heard the background on what you were doing before, that's where I was sold. I'm like, yeah, I want her.
She's bringing that military structure.
Yes. So tell them a little bit about your experience and what was like one of your challenges when you came to PaNash, you felt.
Okay, I just first want to say that I'm so very proud to be a colleague of this beast right here.
Yes.
I mean, when I first met, I call him J-Dub. When I first met J-Dub, I like literally worshiped the ground that he walks on because he's so knowledgeable.
Yes.
And I was like, when I open my restaurant, even though I can open my restaurant, but he's definitely going to be on my team.
Right,
you know, because
right.
he said the experts.
That's right.
So, and then in meeting you, I must say I had some challenges with clients before. Like he said, the emotions.
Yeah.
You know, the emotions and numbers don't work, and even emotions and decisions, business decisions, does not work.
That's correct.
But you were a breath of fresh air. And I think it's because of your corporate discipline, your background, and we both have MBAs. And so you were very like business-minded, structured, discipline. So in the challenges that I had, I think the biggest challenge for us was resources. Normally the biggest challenge is the client.
Yes.
The client.
Yes.
But here, she was not the biggest challenge. Like I said, she was a breath of fresh air. I said, oh my God, this is by far my favorite client. So she really set the bar. But no, I think our biggest challenge was the human resources.
Because trying to get
talent was very, very hard to find, and especially in this area.
Right.
So I think operationally streamlining everything, you were so open to taking my directions and suggestions, and even sometimes when you didn't like something that I was pushing you to do, you still went with it.
Yes.
So you were very open. You always gave everything an opportunity.
That's right.
Not shut it down. So, but that goes with the visionary. You know, you are a huge visionary, and so you can't be a visionary unless you entertain almost anything.
That's right.
To
That's
see
right.
what actually fits and doesn't fit.
Yes,
So
yes.
you don't know how amazing. Well, you do know how amazing you are, but I just want to say how amazing. And you actually really inspire me. Like you really, really do, because you really go for it, Annette. You so go for it with all of your gusto.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Very passionate about what I do, and it was exciting for me to have professionals, because one of the things that was always dear to me, and I think Tez, you know that, because a lot of times you say you need to let guys go on that, is really supporting Black businesses.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the experts that I go on, because I want to show people that they are skilled and expert, you know, Black, you know, professionals.
Right.
And so a lot of times I go after those Black professionals in whatever I do. And sometimes it's hard.
Right.
Yeah. And in saying that, so the other challenge was, okay, so I'm an American, you know,
Right.
and so we're working with different culture.
That's correct.
And in the Jamaican culture, men weren't too used to strong women.
That's right.
And so my mom is strong, but she's also a retired military soldier from the Army. So I don't know if I get my militarized style from that, because she didn't bring it home, but I think it was just inherent in me. And so, so we had those clashes to where they had to come to an understanding and a respect and agreement that this is my position, I'm gonna hold my position.
Yes.
No matter of your resistance or pushback, so we gotta work together here. Let's find a middle ground.
That's right.
But when it came together, it was so beautiful.
Absolutely.
See, the beauty is in the growth.
Right.
Is in the journey.
Yeah.
And so that's why this is all about the journey of Eurosoul. So we will be, today I'm hoping to get you guys in the kitchen with us.
Yeah,
because we will be cooking our Eurosoul kebab, which I know both of you guys are very familiar with. So we're gonna be cooking that, and with our couscous. We're gonna be serving that with couscous today. So let's get cooking.
This is the Eurosoul kebab. We're gonna sear that on both sides for approximately 5 minutes on each side. And then we're gonna get it nice and medium rare. So that it maintains its succulence, its juiciness. It's jerk pork, barbecue chicken, and lamb. Very good dish.
So we're here ready to make our meal for today, which is going to be our Eurosoul kebab and our couscous, right?
Yup.
PaNash couscous, you know, which is the Israelite couscous. So what we have, I think you guys saw Jason cooking up in the kitchen. We have him doing the Eurosoul kebab while we gonna be working on the couscous right now. All right, so Tez, I know you always shy about, I mean, this is a phenomenal lady when it comes to front of the house, right? And getting everything right, but when it comes to cooking,
Completely lost. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna follow y'all.
That's right. So you're gonna be learning something today about the kitchen stuff. All right, and of course I have my son here, Kimani, that is going to be basically showing us how we make our couscous. All right, so Kimani, let's go.
All right, so
Ready?
for couscous, it's basically like it's a pasta. It's a pasta. Okay. So I have my water boiling up right here. So once it's boiling, you know you have to salt it and everything. So once it's boiling and salted, you put in your couscous. It looks like this. I know a lot of people think it's a grain, but it's treated and more so as like a pasta. Yeah.
That's right. And it's definitely more healthier than rice, and any other starch that we might have. You know, we Jamaicans and Caribbean usually use their rice and peas, and
so
but that's a lot of it's a lot of heavy starch there. So the couscous is a good alternative to rice, or mashed potatoes, etc. You know, it's a great.
Still tastes very good. Doesn't
Absolutely.
lose that flavor profile.
That's right. All right. So what else? So we put that in.
And we have to let it cook, and once we put it in, we have to let it come back to a boil.
So what do we have in here, over here?
So over here, so we have our thyme, red and green peppers chopped, and olive oil.
That's right. So see, simple ingredients. That's all that goes into it. And some people don't even put that. They just do the plain couscous, because the whole idea of the couscous is that you're eating it with something, that will flavor it. It's kind of like grits. Like you want to eat grits by itself, right? You gotta have something on it.
Yeah. Come on to your breakfast or even to dinner now.
That's right.
Shrimp and grits could be a brunch meal or. Yeah.
That's correct. So that's what that's what this is all about. But we kind of like put our own little flavor into
seasonings and everything.
All right. So now it looks like it's boiling. It's whatever. What do we do now?
So now mix it up a little bit. Make sure it's not like sticking or clumping. We don't want all of that.
So they need to stay loose.
Yeah, they
separated.
need
Okay.
loose and separated. So.
And there's different types of couscous. We have the small one. We typically use the Israelite couscous because it's a little bit larger. The grains are bigger, and you can actually see it on the plate better. So that's what we use.
Yeah, and it absorbs like the liquid that you're cooking in it better. So if you're using like chicken stock or like any kind of stock for this, it's going to absorb the flavor in that.
That's
okay, because you have the little tiny ones.
They're really tiny, like almost,
like grainy.
I've seen that. I've seen that one. Okay.
Are we ready to put in all that other stuff? Yes, or you actually, or it actually, do you put those in it, or you wait until it's actually cooked and put it in?
Yeah, we wait till it's fully cooked and cool it down a little bit.
Oh, before you put the seasoning in it?
Yeah, before we put the seasoning.
Oh, okay.
About how long does it take, about how many minutes does it take couscous to actually cook? It looks like it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's usually around like I would say like 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, like I said, like it's like pasta, so you need to make sure you watch it, make sure it's like not gonna turn too much, because this can turn into like mush. very quickly.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too
Yeah, and it's not.
Wow, baby, it looks like it's cooked now. It's
Yup,
cooked
it's
now. What do we
cooked.
do next?
So now we have our couscous in a bowl, and we're going to add our olive oil.
Okay. Y'all look at me shuffling it up.
Yeah.
Right,
Red
I
and
can
green
try them.
peppers.
Right.
Yeah, so do we usually, like, with the couscous, when it's cooked, do we usually wait till it's cool to put it in the bowl, or do
Yeah, we cook it and then we run some like cold water on it so it stops the cooking process and doesn't does the carryover cooking.
That's
as-
right. Yeah,
So-
that's the key thing even in pasta.
Yeah.
Carry over cooking.
Yes.
That's a good term.
And
like that.
yeah, and that's also happens with like a lot of meats and stuff. Like when like steaks, like
It
you,
gets tough.
yeah, you order like medium rare and it comes in like medium, like that's carryover cooking.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
So
all
we
right.
don't want that to happen.
We don't want that to happen. So
No
we
carryover.
strain it and we
Yeah.
kind of, a lot of time I see them put like cold water.
Yeah.
Like
That's
ice
the
bath,
also,
like-
yeah, that's also to
So
stop the
yeah,
carryover.
what that does is like pretty much shocks it, and it's
Right.
like, all right, I'm
Stop
done
cooking.
cooking.
All right, okay, so now we're
That's
just gonna,
it.
we're
So
gonna
now we have
season
some
the couscous.
thyme.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some,
Love fresh herbs.
yup,
Yeah.
put some fresh thyme in there.
Natural and whatever. So like I said, you can put
Ooh,
whatever
that
you,
smell that aroma.
Yeah, you smell that
Absolutely.
thyme. Yup.
and you can put whatever kind of seasoning that you want to put with it. The key,
Yeah.
as my son say, is really in the cooking. It's just like pasta. It might seem very simple, but to make pasta with the right consistency,
Right.
not overcooked or undercooked,
Undercooked.
you
Al
have to know
dente,
what
yeah.
you're doing. And so that's the key part of making couscous, making it at the right consistencies, not too hard or too soft. And then you can add whatever ingredients that you
Yeah.
want. And it's looking good, right, Taz?
Yes, it looks delicious.
No, Taz, wasn't that simple? You think you can do this?
It was simple.
Yeah. So you can do this, right?
So you're gonna
You
be
can do this.
eating this all the time.
My one staple dish that I've mastered. So yeah, this is gonna be a part of my repertoire now. Maybe the only thing in my repertoire.
All right. Okay. So it looks like we're done.
Yes.
That's how simple it is. That's why it's like a really fast, quick meal that you can have. As I said, the Eurosoul kebab with our couscous. Now we're ready to eat.
That's right.
We're ready to taste some of this food that we just made.
We're gonna.
So let's get plating. So we are ready to chow down. Yeah, taste the fruit of our labor. So my son, what do we got here? What do we have? What?
We have our Eurosoul kebabs. So with our Eurosoul kebabs, we have our jerk pork, our barbecue chicken, and our Mediterranean lamb.
Yes.
With our Israeli couscous, seasoned with some green pepper, red peppers, onions, some thyme, salt, and pepper.
That's right, that's right. And of course, as we talked about the Eurosoul kebab, it's an influence of both the Caribbean with the jerk pork, and we have the soul food influence with the barbecue chicken. And of course, the lamb is Mediterranean. And so we're excited now. We're ready to chow down. We had a great time in the kitchen with Jason and Tezra. And now we want to taste this good, yummy food. So my son cheering it out here for us. Can we have some
Talk
utensils?
about the wine a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah. So Jason, please share about the wine with us.
So with this dish, because it's so Mediterranean, it has an Israeli couscous. So I selected a Israeli Malbec to go with it to stand up to the spiciness of the jerk sauce and the seasoning, and this earthiness of this Malbec will go very well with this dish.
All right. So Jason,
Yes.
tell us. I was amazed at the information this man has as it relates to wine. He actually did like a wine class for all the servers and bartenders here, so that they can tell the guest what's the best pairing. Could you just give like 2 minutes about your experience in the vineyard?
Well, wine. It actually is very simple. Wine is fermented grape juice, and when you are teaching individuals that may not have been exposed to it, you have to break it down just as that. And it's not about whether it's an expensive bottle of wine, $40, $60 bottle of wine, or a $10 bottle of wine. It's about what you like. And the first thing is how we taste. So we have sweet, sour, bitter, and salt. We taste sweet on the tip of our tongue. Sour is going to be on the side. Salt's going to be in the middle. Sour and bitter is going to be down the back. So every wine is designed to be a balance between the sweetness is from the natural grapes, not sugar sweet, right?
Yes.
It's from the natural sweetness of the grapes. Of the fruit.
That's correct.
And then you're going to get that acidity and the alkaline mix. So it should be fairly balanced. So once we get an understanding of what we're tasting, then I think you can appreciate the wine better for what it is.
Yes.
California wines are not trying to be made like Italian wines, and Italians are not trying to make their wines like French. Everyone is individual, so you just have to appreciate them for what they were. But for the most part, you can get a very high quality, good quality wine at the store for $12 to $15.
Wow. Like I said, I learned so much about wine from him. One of the things I remember is you saying something that I always thought white wine came from white grapes.
Well, actually, all grapes produce clear juice. Yeah, that is true. So red grapes produce clear white juice. The only way it gets the color is they leave it in contact with the skins.
Oh, I didn't know that, and that was one thing I remember.
Polymers that come from the skins and the seeds and the stems is really why you get those tannins. So that's why red wine is a little more abrasive, but the color comes from the skins, and they leave it in contact with the skins.
Okay, great. I tell you, that's just a tidbit of the knowledge that he had with wine. So let's get tasting. Let's taste this food.
Yeah.
Let's taste this food now. Let's see. Let me see what job we did here.
Wow.
So now, here's the living life with a dash of panache.
Cheers.